What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the chronically charismatic Dr. Disaster, and it looks like there's a good reason that Disney decided to release Ironheart in June, because it looks like this show is the most queer Marvel show that they have released yet.
What's wrong with me?
My first thought would be a lot.
Disney recently put out a clip trying to entice people into watching Ironheart, openly pushing what appears to be a non-binary actor and a drag queen actor, as if these are massive selling points, but the whole ad is about as cringy as it gets, and after seeing it, I don't think there is a Disney show out there that I have wanted to see less, other than maybe Star Wars The Acolyte. But take a look at some of this, and I think you'll agree this is peak cringe.
Dream is to be able to do this stuff, you know, knock some big guys out and like walk away and be like
That was so terrible, I think you gave me cancer.
I warned you ahead of time, this is about as cringe-inducing as it gets, but that wasn't the extent of how bad the marketing using these characters is. Let's watch some more.
I flipped a guy.
Yeah. And punched him.
And I punched him.
I don't care!
Come into my first scripted series and have it be in the MCU. After starting on a Marvel show, like, where do I go from here?
Go back to hell where you belong and leave my family alone.
Yeah, I have a hard time seeing the series about the Iron Man ripoff doing very well at all. At a certain point, I suppose Disney feels that they have to try to appeal to the kind of audience that would enjoy this type of progressive drivel shoved in their faces, because they've done such a good job of alienating everyone else. But bad news for Disney, the review embargo is lifting for this show, and reviews have started pouring in from professional critics. The sort of people that you would think would eat this sort of LGBT stuff up. But it looks like the general consensus from reviewers on the quality of this show is basically,
who gives a shit?
Alright me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I've begun uploading some content over onto Rumble as well, so make sure that you follow Dr. Disaster on that site too. Alright though, let's take a peek at this Ironheart situation here. Like I was saying, you would think that with all the identity politic pandering going on in Ironheart, that this show would get an automatic pass from the professional critics who love that sort of thing. After all, it worked for Black Panther. It worked for Captain Marvel. Critics didn't dare say anything even remotely negative about those Marvel projects. But then again, the world was a very different place. Even as recently as just a few years ago, it wasn't safe to speak out against this sort of thing, but in the past year or so, the pendulum has swung to the point that a good chunk of the reviewers are actually willing to state more honest opinions about a show like Ironheart. I scrounged up a bunch of these reviews. Let's take a look at what these people are saying. Mark Cassidy of Comic Book Movie wrote, "I've seen all 6 episodes of Ironheart and it's not good. It becomes obvious very quickly why Marvel decided to dump this on Disney Plus 3 episodes at a time. Can't fault the cast because none of them are given much to work with. Some of the action scenes are passable and the finale is by far the strongest episode, but it's mostly just tedious to sit through, I'm afraid. I didn't hate it because there's not enough passion behind any of it to make me feel that strongly one way or the other. The very definition of content, and that has gotta hurt. The speculation for this show is that the budget was somewhere around $150 million for Disney, and according to this guy, the result they got is just content. But Zach Pope wrote, Ironheart is a series I really wanted to love, but came away not feeling much. VFX, action, and some new additions of magic mythology to the world of the MCU stand out. The finale is awesome, but the character arc feels like it's a standstill by the end and doesn't go anywhere, and that isn't surprising at all. The thing we've learned by now with modern movies and TV shows is that female characters that are featured in them, they don't need character arcs. Girls are already perfect the way that they are, and suggesting that a girl needs to change something in her life would be an admission that girls aren't perfect, so we can't have character arcs. But the critic Hope Sloop said, Ironheart is really fun at times, but feels, in my humble opinion, like it's desperately in need of a soul. The magic versus machine theme is conceptually intriguing, but feels like it's lacking here. I'm ambivalent because I didn't hate any part, but I didn't love anything either, so once again, it sounds an awful lot like Disney spent a shit ton of money only to wind up with content. I guess that's what happens when you stop making original material and you spend the past decade or more just remaking old stories. You lose the knack for creating anything other than content. The people at Disney aren't artists so much as technicians. A lot of them may be skilled in a general sense, but as storytellers, they suck shit through a straw. But Eric Swan wrote, I'm a bit mixed on Ironheart. There are solid elements, like Dominique Thorne's performance, the fun supporting cast, awesome visuals and earnest themes, but the writing could be stronger and some storytelling decisions didn't hit for me. Not a bad show, but it could be better. And then this guy wrote, so Ironheart didn't work for me. There's some good moments and cool VFX parts, but I was pretty bored through most of it. However, the ending is pretty epic. Wish the whole show was, but sadly I didn't like it that much. Curious to see what everyone else will think. And then the Hollywood Handle wrote, Ironheart has some fun moments, but it's never interesting enough, nor does it manage to stick the landing. Bland characters and a super uninteresting plot that doesn't know where it wants to go, a disappointment overall. You can see where this is going. Obviously, there are gonna be some shills out there defending the show, calling it brilliant. Look at this doofus here. He said, the show is a superhero epic, rooted in black genius and emotional truth. That sounds an awful lot like the political arguments from bozos like this. They aren't looking for truth, they push emotional truth. But anyways, if even a chunk of the access media is crapping on this show like this, then you know that it's extremely bad. You can tell why the clowns at Disney didn't do much to promote it. At this stage, I'm sure releasing Ironheart for Disney is kinda like ripping a band-aid off. They know they gotta do it, and it's gonna hurt when the general audience rips it a new one. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your mockery of Disney and Ironheart into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.